It is Wednesday, July 19th. Happy National Hot Dog Day. Frank Granito in studio alongside Kevin Coleman. Kev, we've got a great show coming up today. We're going to be joined shortly by the manager and members of the Babe Ruth 13 under state champion Trumbull travel team. We caught up with them yesterday afternoon. A lot of fun speaking with those boys.
It was a lot of fun speaking with the 13 under team. It was a lot of fun just to listen to them and talk about their success so far throughout this summer league, and they're having a lot of fun doing it. This is probably one of the best times they're ever going to have during the summer. I mean, think about it. You're playing a game that they love. They're having a great success. They're all playing together. They're having fun. I think that's the key word. So it's refreshing to see young guys playing, having a good time, and it was great talking to the coach. And I also have to say, I'm surprised you haven't had a hot dog yet.
That is coming later on today due to some medical issues. No, but, speaking with the boys, and it's funny, we're going to hear more about it in a little bit, but it's a group that's played together since they were 8 or 9 years old. Kevin, you and I both were summer baseball guys, and all of a sudden now they're going to get to the high school level. A couple will be going to Fairfield Prep, some to St. Joe's, some to Trumbull High. Some still have another year at the middle school level. So this is really that last time they're all going to be together, this kind of a team. So they're taking all that in and appreciating it as best they can. Those are coming up in the next 2 blocks, though. But before that, Kevin, we've had a little bit of a theme going on here the past few days now, these questions at the start of the show. Yesterday, we talked about some impact rising seniors who are going to play a major role this year. Today, I want to ask you, I got 4 names here. They were huge players for their teams as freshmen last year. Who will be the most successful, you think, or have the biggest impact on their team as sophomores? And those 4 players are Drew Pine of New Canaan football, Jessica Ware of Greenwich girls ice hockey, Megan Lansadell of Stanford girls basketball, and Jaden Sheridan of the St. Joe's football team. Your response?
I have to say, so far this week, that's by far the best question you've asked me, I think. It's only because these are 4 terrific athletes, and they bring so much to the table, and I think they're so diverse. You look at Drew Pine as a quarterback and Sheridan as a running back. Yes, they're football players, but they're different. I think Sheridan brings a lot to the table when he's in the backfield and breaking tackles and gaining those extra yards, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the table for the cadets. For Drew Pine, I think he's got great vision. He's a lot more confident, looks like, in the pocket this year. He's got a great arm. He's got that great connection with Quentin O'Connell. You look at Megan Lansadell for Stanford. She was huge as a freshman. It's the reason why they had great success in the winter. And, of course, Jessica Ware. I mean, there's nothing else you could say about her. How great she was for the Greenwich Cardinals. Right now I'm torn between Drew Pine and Jessica Ware, and it's because we had a great opportunity to see a lot of them. And we saw a lot of all these 4 athletes, but I think I have to go with Jessica Ware because Drew Pine, of course, is going to bring a lot to the table. And without him, I don't think New Canaan is going to get very far this fall in football. But Jessica Ware put on a terrific show last year. She got them to win an FCI championship game. I think she's going to be terrific for the next 3 years. I think she's the key component for the Cardinals if they want to have success again in her sophomore year.
I don't hate the answer, and now a counter argument I'm going to come at you with here is I think Pine is less important than you would imagine. They don't need Pine. New Canaan football does not need Pine to be a 3,000, 4,000 yard passer and them to be successful. The disparity between the top of the FCIAC and the bottom is so wide right now that there are a lot of games Pine most likely isn't playing into the second half. Now, that being said, when it does come to crunch time in the state tournament against Darien and the Turkey Bowl, he has to be the best player on the field this year. I won't argue that. But they can get away with their defense doing a lot of the work and relying on a run game against some of the lesser teams in the conference. Now, Jaden Sheridan, I think, will play a huge role. He might be more important to the Cadets' offense this year because they need to be able to control tempo and pace against teams like Darien and New Canaan. They need to take them out of their element, and clock control, time of possession is going to be huge for the Cadets this year. We know how good Jessica Ware is, but one thing that the Greenwich Cardinals girls hockey team has going for them, Kevin, they're bringing back essentially the entire roster. And with a full defensive unit featuring Jenny Piotrowski, Sydney Orzumalek, I think that Ware will not be as relied on heavily this year when Emily Giannunzio is gone from Darien, and they've got some serious questions on the back end now. So the Cardinals are the odds-on favorite and will be the odds-on favorite, I think, for most of the hockey season. Megan Lansdale, to me, is going to be a huge, huge X factor this winter. We saw how important she was to the offense this year, but there's no Camille Martinez coming off the bench to relieve her at the point guard position. Kelly Jagodzinski comes back, but she was the sixth man all of last year. How does Jagodzinski react? You have Alexa Kellner still. You still have got Andrea O'Connor down low. No Martha Garand. I just think the way that Lansdale has to grow up now. You saw a lot of those freshman struggles, some of the frustrations that got to her. I think Lansdale is going to be most important to their team in this winter season.
And I liked how you brought up you saw the frustrations come out. And listen, we've all had those frustrating games where you let your emotions kind of take the best of you, and it happens. And I think you're right. I think for her in her freshman year, I think some of those things she will learn from. I think the coaching staff will do a terrific job in doing that, and she's got some key leaders coming back. Andrea O'Connor, you mentioned, Kelly Jagodzinski, who I think is going to be an X factor this year, because if you look at the stats towards the later part of that second half of the basketball season for the Black Knights, I think you look in the playoffs, she was shooting lights out, and she really wasn't doing that in the beginning of the season. So I think for Jagodzinski, I think coming into this season, I think you got to let her kind of take some three-pointers because she can hit them from deep.
And I would keep that thought on the back burner because X factors might be a question sometime in the near future heading into the season. But no, and it's not that the frustrations or reactions were unjustified. I mean, you're talking about a 14, 15-year-old athlete playing major minutes for a very talented program into deep parts of tournament play. And we're talking the FCX championships, the state championship. That's a lot of responsibility, especially at the point guard position when you're expected to really handle the offense. So Lansdale, to me, is going to play a big role because I think a lot of defenses are now going to have to focus on senior Alexa Kellner, obviously, but how do you defend Andrea O'Connor down low? Because there are a few girls in the state that match up well in the paint against her, and I think there's going to be a lot of openings now for Lansdale in that offense.
Well, you're right, and I think one thing that you saw from some teams is that they put a lot of pressure. They double-team Lansdale, and that's where you get the inexperience. That's where you get her to cause turnovers a little bit. That's what you saw in that FCI tournament and the state tournament. So I think for her, she can just look at tape and figure out what better way to get out of a double team, or if I'm getting trapped in the corner, how do I get it out and not cause a turnover? Those are the things that she's going to learn and make your sophomore year so much better.
Now, one name I didn't put on there, I wanted to cut the list at 4, but AJ Kovacs of the Danbury wrestling team, I think he plays a major factor as well. He's in that 145 weight class. It's a big one, so that's another guy to keep an eye on. We're going to step aside here on Nutmeg Sports. When we get back, though, we are joined by some of the players for the Trumbull travel baseball team. They are the state champions for Babe Ruth 1300 division. That's next on Nutmeg Sports.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the summer clearance event. Going on now through July 31st.
You don't have to go far for authentic Neapolitan cuisine and renowned wood-fire pizza. Pizzeria Loretano of Bethel is a contemporary Italian bistro, specializing in authentic wood-fired brick oven pizza Napolitana. Pizzeria Loretano was named one of America's top 1,000 Italian restaurants in 2008 by Zagat, and recommended by Jane and Michael Stern on National Public Radio's Splendid Table. Located close to the Bethel Cinema, we focus on quality, and our food is always made to order. Join us for live jazz Sundays from 6 to 8. Find our schedule, menu, and more at pizzerialoretano.com and like us on Facebook. If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
At Pure Barre Ridgefield, our tried and true method can shape every body and fit any schedule. Pure Barre is a total body workout using the ballet bar to perform small isometric movements which burn fat, sculpt muscles, and create long, lean physiques. Sweat away the day and get lost in the music. Pure Barre Ridgefield, located at 86 Danbury Road. Like us on Facebook at Pure Barre Ridgefield.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
On Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network, Frank Granito and Kevin Coleman. Great segment coming up, Kevin,
That's
now,
right.
as we have got members of the 13 and under Babe Ruth state champion Trumbull travel team. They are Jack Wallace, Dylan Moran, Luke Masick, Justin Delaney, and Johnny Bova. Boys, first of all, congratulations. What an unreal run you've had so far, and thank you so much for being in studio with us today. Now, I'm going to start with you, Jack. You guys end up losing, fall into that loser's bracket. What were those last 3 games like as you had to fight your way back to the state championship?
Coach told us to not put pressure on ourselves. Not each day. We just had to win 1 game, and we didn't have to win 3. It was just 1 game each day, and that really helped us play with less pressure and play looser and with more confidence.
And Dylan, you also had to beat Norwalk twice. I mean, how difficult was it pulling off that second one after taking down them in the first game?
Throughout the entire tournament, we had to go through a lot of pitchers and pitching. So, we just had to take it 1 game at a time and play our game.
Luke, what's the chemistry like getting ready for a game like that?
We've been playing together since we were 7, 8, so we all know how each other plays and how well we are. And same preparation we've been doing since back when we were 8 years old.
And Justin, defensively, are you guys so focused when you guys get ready for a game like that?
Yeah, even from run, stretch, throw, it's just we all have the mentality. We're just ready for the game.
And Johnny, what's it like? Are you motivating your team before the game? What are you guys talking to each other before you guys take the field?
Well, we're mostly just talking everybody just do the best that you can. Don't worry about anything. Everything's gonna be fine.
Now, you guys mentioned you've been playing together since you were 8 or 9 years old. Just going down the line here, that is a long time spent together. Do you have a favorite memory, whether it's winning this state championship or going all the way back to 8 years old, that really stands out playing with this group together?
I think it was 9 All-Stars. Coach Bova was one of our coaches telling us that when we give us the take sign, take no matter what. And Justin goes, "Do we take you if it's a juicy pitch right down the middle?"
That's how he got his nickname, Juicy.
That's a good one. Dylan, how about you?
I think a lot of my favorite memories were because I was on a different team and they were on the other Trumbull team, so mine was probably just playing them every single year.
That's a good one. Luke, what do you think?
My favorite memory was back when we were 9 years old. He was on the other Trumbull team because we were split, and we played each other. It was supposed to be a 6-inning game. We played 8 innings until we finally came out with the win.
There you go. That's the key sentence there, is that you got to come out with the win. You see, Dylan, you're still a little bitter about that one?
Not really. I got over it.
I bet that win on this past one felt pretty good. What do you think, Justin? Favorite memory for you?
My favorite was definitely this year winning state championship. It just felt really good.
Johnny?
I'd have to agree with Justin on that one. It was just a great feeling knowing that you'd be able to go to the regionals and 13-year-old Babe Ruth.
Now, guys, is this a memory you guys are going to look back on for a long time? I'll start with you, Jack. Is this a memory you guys are going to remember for a long time?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so, because Coach over there, Coach Tim, he still talks about when he went to a Babe Ruth World Series.
This is probably our last year playing together for the spring and summer. So this year would mean a lot because it was the last time we ever played together.
All right, Justin, how about
same
you?
Thing,
I agree with Justin and Luke. It's really it's been a great year.
It's definitely a lot of fun. You guys are doing a great job. Justin, I want to come at you here for a second. You got the start on a short rest for that championship clinching game. What was your thought process on the mind for that one there?
I thought that just since Coach
had the confidence in me to give me the ball, that I just told myself I was going to throw strikes and let the defense do the work. Yeah.
And Johnny, you were playing in the infield behind him there at second base. What were you thinking as you watched Justin deal such a great game in the championship?
Well, at the beginning of the game, I was thinking that Justin had this because he's always been one of our best pitchers. And I was doing as long as he threw strikes that the defense was always going to be able to make the plays behind him.
And Jack, not only a shortstop, you hit 3 home runs in this tournament. Take us through your at-bats. What was working for you?
Just swing hard, and when it goes, it goes. You don't really think about hitting the home run. You think about hitting a line drive and just getting a single or even a fly out to left to score a guy from third to tag up. You don't really think about the long ball.
And going back to that last question, you're playing shortstop. What's going through your mind as you're seeing Justin throw a gem?
I just knew he always throws strikes and doesn't really get rattled if the other team scores a run or not, and he has faith in the fielder.
Now, Luke, I got to ask you this because we talked a little bit about it when we came into the studio. All right, Jack's 3 home runs. Did he toss the bat, flip the bat on any of them?
No, Jack shows a lot of class when we play. Doesn't really show much emotion.
That's what you want to see. It's just a nice professional way to handle the game. A little Aaron Judge to him, maybe. Exactly. I mean, Dylan, you got to do a little bit of everything in this tournament. Good job at the plate. You caught, you pitched. What was it all like? How do you be able to be such a versatile player there?
Well, when I'm behind the plate, I try and do my best to keep my team in the game and make as little mistakes as I can. And then when I'm on the mound, I just stick with the same philosophy and just try and throw as many strikes as possible. And then usually when I'm up at the plate, just try and swing good pitches and hit them where they throw them.
Guys, let me ask you, as you get ready for the regional tournament, you're heading up to Massachusetts, what are you most looking forward to in this upcoming week?
I would probably say just playing more games with this team, just because it's a lot of fun to play with them. And they're like my brothers.
There you go.
We've come this far. I want to see how far we can go.
Nice.
I want to win. I don't want to stop now.
Yeah, me too. I'm just looking forward to playing all the games. Just more games. Fun.
Yeah, I'm really just hoping that we are able to advance to the Babe Ruth World Series. It'd be a lot of fun.
Great answers. I was looking for, the time in the hotel. We get to go to the pool with our buddies.
That a little bit.
Hey, no, guys, listen. It was a great run, and it's by no means anywhere near being over. We want to wish you the best of luck. You did a great job today, and we're excited to keep following along.
Thank you.
All right. We are going to let the boys step aside. When we get back, we'll be joined by the manager, Tim Tavarzik, of the Trumbull State Champion 13 baseball team. That's coming up next on Nutmeg Sports.
Celebrate summer with fresh made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. DockShop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now at the summer clearance event. Going on now through July 31st.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN Network.
Back on the HAN Network here in studio, joined now by the manager of the Babe Ruth 13 Under Trumbull Travel State Champions. He is Timothy Tavarzik. Coach, first of all, congratulations. What a great season it has been so far, and thank you for taking time with us today.
Yeah, no problem. We're happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Take us through your eyes what that state tournament was like. Get off to a great start, and you end up in the losers bracket, and what a run it was those final 3 games.
We really wanted to stay out of that losers bracket for as long as we could. We wanted to at least win those first 2 games and then see where the tournament took us. We were able to do that, and in the winners bracket final, the first time we played Norwalk, it really didn't work out the way we wanted to. We made a lot of mistakes that game, but we were able to battle back and just do what our team normally does, and it worked out for the best for us.
And I mean, as if playing in the state tournament in Connecticut isn't difficult enough, especially when you look at the field and how stacked it was this year. You also had to beat both New Milford and Norwalk 2 times. What a great run it was. Let's go to that state championship matchup. You've got game 1 the first time around. What was your message to the boys heading into that first game?
Do the things that we can focus on and we normally do. If we execute and do the little things, the simple things like throw strikes, put the ball in play when we're at bat and make the plays in the field, that we would be all right, and it wouldn't matter who we played. We just hope for the best. So these guys are a talented group. They've played together for a long time. So, if we took care of our business on our end, we thought we would have a lot of success.
You and I spoke off air, a great story of how you decided who was going to start that last game, and it decided to be Justin. Talk about that little story, because it's pretty cool. And what was, obviously the story is great, but what did you tell Justin right before he took the mound?
I told Justin that, if he went out there and threw strikes, because he was on 2 days rest, if he could do that we would be okay and our defense would make the plays behind him. We necessarily didn't need a complete game out of Justin. If he just gave us whatever he had for as long as he had, then we would piece it together from there. So if he went out and gave us 3 innings, that would be okay. If he went out and gave us 4 innings, that would be good. If he went out and gave us 5 innings, it would be great, and he ended up going out there and pitching into the 7th inning.
Now I understand it took a Diet Coke ball or a Coke ball to decide who that starting pitcher was going to be. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, kind of a neat story. So the story is John Bova, who's one of our assistant coaches, after the game on Friday, we were supposed to play Friday. After that game got rained out, him and I went to lunch to kind of discuss and go over our plan, what we were thinking as far as pitching, what we wanted to do in the later innings. So we ended up going to lunch that day, and when we sat down, I placed my order. John ended up placing his order. I went over to the cooler to grab a drink. John went over and grabbed the Diet Coke. So we ended up sitting down at the table, and John says to me, "Coach, you're not going to believe this." And I said, "What?" And he says, "Well, look at this bottle right here," and he turns it my way. Well, on the bottle, I'm sure you've seen the Coke bottles, how they're kind of personalized now, and they have different names on them, like Drew, Rebecca, Denise, Bob, whatever. He turns it my way, and it says Justin on it. So he says to me, "Coach, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is." And I really believe in that stuff sometimes. So I said, "Oh, that's good enough for me." So that kind of made our decision a little bit easier, but very cool story.
Oh, that is very, very cool. And thank God you weren't at a Pepsi-sponsored restaurant, because then you might still be pulling hairs over that decision. No, but Coach, looking into this team a little bit more, you won the East Shore Fall League, the championship this fall as well. We talked about the depth that you have and how many players have played multiple positions and been able to step up across the board. What is it about this group of young men that makes them so special, and a big reason why they're the state champions now heading to the regionals?
Yeah, well, number one, from speaking with these guys earlier, they've played for a long time together. They have played with a little bit of adversity in front of them before. Going back to the fall league, most of this team played on that team when we played in the fall, which was their first season on the Big Diamond. We had to win 3 games in one day, and we were the only team that was asked to do that due to weather. So we were forced to win 3 games in one day to win the fall league championship. So this team has played a lot of games together, and they've been battle tested. And that's why I was confident in this group that they could come back and overcome, falling into the losers bracket in this tournament. And the other thing is, from the first guy on down to 12, everyone has a role on this team, and it really is a team concept. And everyone contributes, whether it's doing something little and passing it on to the next guy and making the next guy pick up one of our teammates. We just preach the team concept, and this team has really bought into the message that we try to nail into them during practice. So very, very proud of the way this team responded, which we kind of knew they would.
Coach, you mentioned how you've coached this team for a long time. You've gotten to know these players. Is there a favorite memory you have coaching these guys?
Just the way that they go about their business. This is a group that we have a lot of big personalities on this team. So I'd say my most memorable thing about this team is it's fun to show up every day and coach this team because we like to have fun. We always say that baseball is supposed to be fun. So, although there are times where we go about our business and we're very serious when we're practicing, it's really meant to be fun, and it's really fun to coach this group. Not only because they're talented on the field, but they're really good kids, and they're fun to be with off the field as well.
Oh, they definitely are a lot of fun off the field. We just learned that in that last segment. But, Coach, you talked with us a little bit about a goal of your team this year is to win the World Series. You have some personal experience there, which we'll touch upon in a second. But now as you become one of those select few teams that advances on to the regionals, what does this group need to continue doing if they're going to accomplish that goal and make their way to Mountain Home, Arkansas?
Yeah, one of the things that I told these guys when this run first started, before the district tournament started, was how I went to a World Series when I was their age, and this exact same age group, 13-year-old Babe Ruth All-Stars. And it was, I told them when we went to North Carolina and finished second in the country, it was a story that I would never forget and an experience for the rest of my life. So I really wanted the same for these guys because it is a very talented group. But, going into this regional tournament, I think if we can continue to do the little things, our approach is very simple. If we throw strikes, if we put the ball in play and make the plays in the field, we should be okay. So, we put our confidence in that, and we really try to hammer that message home to them, and it's been working.
And you mentioned message. What are you saying to your players before each game? How do you motivate your players to go out there and get those wins?
Well, I try to stay very positive. I try to stay very even keel because it is a 7-inning game. You do have to go out there and play the whole game. So if something goes wrong and doesn't go our way, not to panic and to just keep battling and try to keep the momentum on our side because, sometimes, a game like baseball can be a tug-of-war match where the momentum swings back and forth. So if we can just try to minimize the damage when the other teams are up at bat and just, keep the momentum on our side, that's the way I try to spin it to these guys and not to panic, if things don't go our way right away.
Now, Coach, a lot of big personalities on the team. We expect they'll be a fan favorite when they get up to Massachusetts. Probably a lot of paparazzi. Are we going to be looking at a strict curfew to make sure the boys aren't out late night clubbing?
Definitely. Yeah, they're definitely going to have a curfew. It's going to be early. Hopefully we don't have a lot of late games. So I'm going to be making a lot of phone calls and sending out a lot of text messages, making sure these guys are in bed when they're supposed to be.
Well, Coach, it's been a great run so far. We're looking forward to seeing how you guys do up in Massachusetts, and hopefully we'll get to have you back on before you make your way down to Arkansas this year.
Yeah, hope so. Thanks for having us.
Of course. That was Timothy Tavarzik of the Trumbull 13U. They are the state champions getting ready to head up to Massachusetts. We're going to take one more break. When we get back, we'll put a wrap on this afternoon's Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Thank you again to Coach Tavarzik and the boys. We want to wish them the best of luck, Kev. They are making their way up to Massachusetts right now. They left this morning getting ready for that regional tournament.
Yeah, we wish them the best of luck. And again, like Coach Tavarzik said, it's a cool moment for these players because he was in their shoes back in his playing days. He got to go to the World Series. So I think for him, it's an exciting time for not only the coaching staff, but for these players. What a cool moment it is during the summer baseball.
Hopefully we get to have them on again next week, and this time we'll be previewing their trip to Arkansas. It's going to do it for Nutmeg Sports today. For Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Granito. We're both back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. for coffee break, and we've got another Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock only on the HAN Network.